Welcome back, honour members. I therefore request any honour member that would like to debate on Bill number 9. Anyone who wants to join the debate on Bill number 9 of 2026 Banking Amendment? I see the honourable member for Lilongwe Likuni for point of order.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the great people of the Lilongwe constituency, TMRE and Team Badaliga. Honorable Speaker, this is the House of Records, and I just want to put in record also to say I was tempted to be on the bad record because the time I logged in here, I was not able to log in. So the time I was bothering you, Speaker, I was not logged in. So I wanted them to come because I requested 3 times. So I want you also to put on record that the Lilongwe constituency is here to represent its people and the country at large. I so submit. Thank you very much.
Honour member for Lilongwe Likuni, your submission has been noted. Thank you. Leader?
I would like to move that debate on the bill be curtailed because Likuni has debated. So debate should be curtailed in order for the Minister of Finance to wind up. I beg to move, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir.
Thank you very much, Leader. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor after that submission by Lilongwe Likuni that debate on the bill be curtailed to allow the Honour Minister to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honour Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Maybe before I proceed, I would like to register my appreciation to the detailed responses, very constructive responses. And I also want to, through you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, that I'm really happy with the analysis, the detailed analysis that has been made by almost all the those that have commented on this bill. And this is the kind of debate, the kind of input that I think we need, because it guides us, it gives even the technical people at the back in terms of what they need to do when bills of such nature are tabled in the August House. First, there was a comment or there were a response from the spokesperson for Malawi Congress Party, who supports the bill, but had raised a number of concerns. The first concern was to ensure that the depositors in the banks need to be protected. And it should be not only on the paper, but on reality. And also there was a mention that I think we have included both the foreign and the kwacha deposits, and I think we need to be careful because that may also lead to litigations. Another concern was on payout. There was a mention that in the 45 days claim is on it's a longer period. Perhaps we should consider either 7 days or 14 days. On this one, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I would say that I think we need to know where we are coming from. We are coming from a situation where it took time, years actually, for the people to get their money. You have cited the example of Finance Bank. I think it was in 2013, 2014, till now, they have not got, some of them have not gotten their money. This is the situation that we are avoiding. So I thought perhaps we are moving from where people took time or years to get, now we are proposing for 45 days. I thought that's reasonable, considering the processes that have to be done for people to claim them, because there are processes. You don't just pay out. You need to establish whether that the money will indeed belong to that person. You get it? The bank, between the Reserve Bank and the bank itself. So I thought maybe the 45 is still reasonable. But I do agree to some extent that maybe over time this needs to be looked into. There was concern about the too much power given to the registrar. He cited section 30, where enforcement to make sure that the Reserve Bank needs to enforce and adopt a framework made by the central bank. On this one, I want also to mention that, honorable member, that normally supervision or by the bank, it also takes into account the perceived risk on that bank. Those that are perceived to be risky, the supervision is more intense than those that are not perceived. But I also want to agree with you on the issue of transparency in management of unclaimed funds, and also make sure that we should be clear in terms of how the money will be utilized. Who is going to, and perhaps you have said that there will be need to reface that amount, and also that there must be a register to ensure that there is accountability and transparency in the use of that money. So in short, my Congress Party supports this bill. There were also comments coming from the spokesperson for UTM. Broadly, I think they support the bill, but I think there was also mentioned that we need to be careful in terms of the power given to the registrar. They said that there are wide powers and there's need for there to be checks and balances. You mentioned about the need for regular reporting to Parliament through the Line Ministry. You also emphasized on the need to protect the shareholders, particularly where it involves compulsory transfer, and make sure that the constitutional rights of the shareholders, even the depositors, have to be protected. You cited some sections of the Constitution. The other comments that I think it came from, I'm trying to be in summary, because I think, as I've said, in a nutshell, all the spokespersons, they do support this bill. But maybe before I finish the comments from UTM, there was also a need to strengthen, you said to strengthen the regular reporting and also the right of appeal to be strengthened. And that's what you mentioned. But the chair of Budget and Finance, the co-chairperson, also supports the bill. At this point, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I want to thank the two chairpersons, the chairperson of Legal Affairs Committee, and also the chair of Budget and Finance for the collaboration, how we worked together to ensure that we get as much as inputs from your committees and also from other stakeholders. I think our engagement has been helpful, and it has helped our technical team, the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Justice, and the Reserve Bank of Malawi to come up with a piece of legislation that meets the international standards. Again, I think the chair of the Budget and Finance also reiterated the issue of protecting the depositor, because this is very important for giving confidence to the banking system. You mentioned that the fit and proper test needs to be continuous. It should not be like a one-off. There must be specific intervals to be done. I think we have not to mistake specific intervals. But as I've said, the period or the intervals will depend on the perceived risk profile of that particular bank. There was also a comment on the unclaimed funds. So those are the concerns that were done. Now there were comments also that were made by there were comments that were also made with regard to, I think there was more emphasis on the powers of the registrar, and that they should be applied cautiously, not arbitrarily, and also that the issue of mergers, acquisitions without approval, I think there's also need for shareholders to be protected, and this needs to be done. There was also mentioned that the bridge bank, the asset management is very technical in nature, and therefore there's need for the Reserve Bank of Malawi to enhance its capacity so that they are able to manage this properly. And that we need to be also careful in terms of setting up the regulations for opening bank accounts, because we need to know that financial inclusion is very important in the era of digitalization. There was recommendations that the Ministry of Finance and the Reserve Bank of Malawi need to have comprehensive regulations to cover all these concerns that have been highlighted. So I want to assure the August House, through you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, that immediately after this bill is passed in this, I think we'll engage in coming up with regulations to address the issue that have been raised by all the people that have spoken on this particular bill. I think most of the comments was based on powers of the Reserve Bank, protecting the shareholder, protecting the depositors, and that there must be extensive stakeholder engagement immediately after this bill is enacted, engaging the banks, the shareholders, the depositors, and all the relevant stakeholders. They need to be engaged. So the sister is on this particular bill. I think the same issues were echoed by the seconder of the bill. I think these concerns were the same. Again, on protecting of depositors, enhancement of powers of the registrar, need for enhancement of the capacity of the Reserve Bank of Malawi, the need for consumer protection, and that we need to have a comprehensive regulations in order to manage this bill. As for Zimba South, you mentioned about sanitation. I would want to agree with you, but also we need to consider security issues in the bank, but we still need to communicate to the commercial banks that they need to look into this, while at the same time considering the issue of security. Because sanitation indeed is very important. It doesn't matter whether it's a bank or not. I think they can find a way of ensuring that people are properly saved and ensure that there is proper sanitation in the banks. You also mentioned about the fit and proper test. That is continuous, but you are saying maybe there must be specific intervals. Again, I want to repeat that the number of tests or supervision that the Reserve Bank takes normally takes into account the risk profile. If a particular bank has more risk, is perceived to be more risky, the more the supervision. On unclaimed funds, I think the chair of Budget and Finance, I think, Budget and Finance, I think he cleared that issue. Unclaimed funds in this case are those funds who have no owner. And it doesn't just happen overnight. Normally, they are advertised in the paper, they communicate, and in some cases, even it takes 7 years before it's declared unclaimed. So these are funds with no owner. And all means have been done to check or to verify who is the owner, and they have failed to do so. These are the funds that we are talking about. With these, um, with these comments, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the bill number 9 of 2026, Banking Amendment Act, be read for the second time. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honour Minister. Honour members, I therefore put a question. The question is that Bill number 9 of 2026, Banking Amendment, be read a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honour members, the bill is now at committee stage. May I? Oh, table.
Committee stage, Bill number 9 of 2026, Banking Amendment.
Thank you, honour members. The bill is now at committee stage. May I recognize the chairperson for Trade and Industry Committee to chair the committee stage. So, chairpersons, we have so many bills today. Be available for committee work. That includes the chairperson of Natural Resources. I know you are nursing a fracture, but be available at any time during the day. Chairperson, Trade and Industry, for the committee stage. Yeah, Chairperson, you might proceed.
Honorable members, welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 9 of 2026, Banking Amendment Bill. I wish to inform you that so far, the chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments on the bill. Honorable members, if no one wishes to speak, I now put a question. The question is that clause 1 to 32 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honorable members, this marks the end of the committee stage of Bill number 9 of 2026 Banking Amendment. Thank you for your participation.
Report stage, Bill number 9 of 2026, Banking Amendment.
Honor members, order. Order to my left and order to my right. Honor Minister of Finance to report.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I'm pleased to report I need protection, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to report that Bill number 9 of 2026, the Banking Amendment Bill, has passed through committee stage without an amendment, and therefore I beg that Bill number 9, 2026 be read for a third time. I beg to move.
Honorable Minister, third reading when? Honorable Minister, I therefore put the question. Honorable Minister, can resume a seat. The question is that third reading of the bill number 9, Banking Amendment, be taken today. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Third reading, Bill number 9 of 2026, Banking Amendment.
Honour Minister? Third reading when?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, today and now.
Honour members, I now put the question. The question is that Bill number 9 of 2026, Banking Amendment, be read a third time and pass. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, and the bill has passed.
First reading, Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment.
Honourable Minister, the bill at hand, Financial Services Amendment, has satisfied the 7-day notice, but did not satisfy the 28-day notice. So I'll recognize you for the waiver on this. Just also to report that this issue was already reported at the Right Honourable Speaker's office. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Federal Speaker. Indeed, I beg to move that all the relevant standing orders be waived, to allow me to present Bill number 10 of 2026. This bill has satisfied the 7-day minimum number of days, but it has not satisfied the 28 days that is required. I therefore seek a waiver from the August House that I present on this particular bill, which is dealing with a very important issue. It's about unclaimed funds that we have also discussed in the previous bill. Thank you, Mr. Fed Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, honour members. I therefore put a question for the House to waive the 28-day notice to allow the Honourable Minister of Finance to present the bill number 10, Financial Services Amendment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Second reading, Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment.
Honour Minister, second reading when?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, today and now.
Thank you, honour members. I therefore put a question that the second reading of Bill number 10 of 2026 Financial Services Amendment be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honour Minister, for the statement, you can proceed to the dispatch box. Thank you.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the Financial Services Amendment Bill 2026 be read for the second time. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this bill amends the Financial Services Act, Chapter 44, Section 5, in order to align the administration of unclaimed funds with the Public Finance Management Act of 2022, and this amendment is part of the wider package of amendments to bring consistency on how unclaimed monies are administered across the Malawi entire financial sector. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, government commissioned a situational assessment of unclaimed monies held by financial institutions in Malawi and of the legal and institutional framework governing their management. The assessment uncovered inconsistencies in the handling of such funds. For instance, different statutes use different terminology for the same concept, prescribe different dominance periods before funds are treated as unclaimed, and more critically, they disagree on where such funds should ultimately go. The Public Finance Management Act requires that unclaimed assets be paid to the consolidated fund, whereas the Financial Services Act currently provides for the Register of Financial Institutions to hold and use such funds in the manner it determines. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this is not a mere drafting inconsistency. It is a genuine conflict of legal obligation. A prudentially regulated financial institution winding up its affairs and the registrar administering the process need clear and unambiguous guidance on the treatment of such funds. Where two acts or pieces of legislation point in different directions, compliance becomes a matter of interpretation rather than law. And public funds risk being administered inconsistently or worse still outside the appropriation processes that ensure that their proper stewardship on behalf of the people of Malawi. This bill, therefore, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, resolves that conflict by making Public Finance Management Act the single point of reference for how these unclaimed funds are handled. In doing so, it advances a wider principle this government holds clear, that public resources should be managed in a transparent and accountable manner under one uniform legal framework. This bill, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, in Section 2, amends Section 72O. I want you to take note, it's 72O, not 720. For those that we are looking, it's not 720, it's 72O of the Financial Services Act by deleting existing section and substituting a new section which provides that any funds of the prudentially regulated financial institution under compulsory winding up that remains unclaimed after the financial institution shall be administered in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act. With regard to impact, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this amendment removes the conflict between the Financial Services Act and the Public Finance Management Act, and taken together with its companion bills, contributes to a harmonized national framework for the treatment of unclaimed monies across banking, insurance, pensions, securities, microfinance, and financial cooperative sector. This, therefore, will enhance consistency, transparency, and accountability in how such funds are managed, and it will ensure that all unclaimed funds are subjected to the same legal framework that governs all public funds. In conclusion, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, unclaimed funds are public resources because they don't belong to anybody. And it is the duty of the state to ensure that the people of Malawi know how such funds are managed under one clear, consistent, legal standard framework. My ministry, in collaboration with Ministry of Justice, is in the final stages of developing unclaimed monies regulations under the Public Finance Management Act. Once issued, these regulations will provide a comprehensive legal and operational framework for the identification, notification, reporting, transfer, and management of unclaimed funds as it has been recommended in the August House. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I therefore urge the honorable members of this August House to support the bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much for the statement. Honorable members, according to our own Standing Order 128.5, we now recognize spokespersons of political parties, starting with the Malawi Congress Party. I see the honorable member for Lilongwe Pirilanjuzi. Honorable member, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for granting me the floor to respond to the bill, ably presented by Honorable Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, it's not really out of tradition that we always preamble our response as a party by expressing gratitude to the leadership of our President, Dr. Chakwera, and the leader of opposition, because we know that as a party, we serve in these positions at their behest. And that's why, therefore, we want to sincerely thank them for granting me the floor to respond on behalf of the Mighty Malawi Congress Party to the bill. The bill before us is quite small, and I want to use the 20 minutes allocated to me. Probably 5 minutes will be okay, so that we pass this very important bill before us this afternoon. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill before us seeks to amend the Financial Services Act, that's Chapter 4405 of our statutes, to align the treatment of unclaimed funds arising from the winding up of prudentially regulated financial institutions with the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act of 2022. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, this is one of the bills, of course, as the Honorable Minister of Finance has already mentioned, that will form a new statutory framework in terms of how unclaimed funds in the financial sector will be treated or managed. This, as the Honorable Minister has already said, will ensure that there is harmonization, there is consistency in terms of how these unclaimed funds are treated. And I think emphasis has to be made that we are talking about unclaimed funds, funds that have not been claimed by anybody. And in this case, where we are talking about the winding up of companies, you are aware, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, that companies go into compulsory liquidation in times of insolvency, whereby a liquidator is called in to administer the liquidation. And liquidation is basically the selling of assets, non-cash, non-liquid assets, and the funds realized from the sale of these assets are distributed to various parties that the company owes money to. And obviously, the first, according to the Insolvency Act, the creditors, the secured creditors, and then the liquidator himself also has fees that he also has to take. Courts come in, preferential creditors come in, and then other creditors follow. Finally, the liquidator gives resources or money, the funds to the shareholders so that they also benefit from these liquidated funds. And then in the event that after distributing all these funds that are being liquidated, we still have some funds remaining, the law we are amending today is proposing that these funds should be credited to the consolidated fund. In other words, account number one. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, there's nothing wrong with this because we are talking of unclaimed funds. Funds that are actually remaining after distributing to all those that are owed some money by the company and liquidation. So, as my Congress Party, we fully support this very important bill, but we want also to make mention of the fact that when these funds are deposited or credited to account number one, we all know account number one is like a black hole where these funds will be used in any ways. And that is why we're calling upon government, and will continue to do so, that public funds should be used prudentially. It's important that as government, they exercise proper stewardship over these resources, because it's unfair for these unclaimed funds to be put into account number one, and then these funds are used wantonly. We have, very questionable expenses like payouts to different individuals from this very important account number one. Sometimes even out of court, they just agree, no, we need to make such payouts to such a person. It's not right. Can we manage? Can we use the resources from account number one prudentially for the common good of our nation? So the intention of crediting these funds to account number one, the intention is quite good because we need to use these funds for the common good. But as government, can we please make sure that we exercise proper stewardship for the resources that Malawians entrust us with? Finally, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, we are talking about conforming how the unclaimed funds are treated with the Public Finance Management Act. Of course, in that act, I think it's section 60 all the way to section 69 that talks about management of unclaimed funds. And Section 65 of the Public Finance Management Act talks about if someone, later on claims these funds, of course, within a period of 6 months after these funds have been credited to the consolidated fund, the Secretary to Treasury may order that this person or this party be given back the funds. We wanted to submit, First Deputy Speaker, that I think it's important that we should have proper regulations, proper guidelines in terms of how these funds will be reclaimed, so that it shouldn't really take long. We know the bureaucracies in government where when these funds are reclaimed, there are so many processes. The Auditor General has to certify them, and it takes sometimes long, maybe months, maybe years. There has to be proper guidelines in terms of how these funds are reclaimed. Should a person later come to reclaim these funds from government, so that they are assisted expeditiously. Otherwise, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, as Malawi Congress Party, we fully support this very important bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, spokesperson for the Malawi Congress Party. We recognize the spokesperson for the UTM, honor member for Rumpi Central.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing me to comment on Bill number 10 on behalf of the UTM, which bill has been well represented by the Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization. For the sake of order, consistency and predictability, it is always important to have laws, policies, and procedures that talk to each other and do not cause unnecessary ambiguity, confusion, chaos, or complications. It is therefore pleasing to note that government has taken steps to amend the Financial Services Act so that it is aligned with the Public Finance Management Act, especially with regard to the administration of the unclaimed funds arising from the winding up of prudentially regulated financial institutions. It is particularly gratifying to note that the intended amendment is aimed at promoting consistency, accountability, and efficient management of public resources. First Deputy Speaker, during the 10 years of the privilege and honor I had sitting on boards of financial institutions, I was constantly overwhelmed by the surprise at the quantum of the amounts of unclaimed funds and the huge numbers of cases of unclaimed funds. Therefore, First Deputy Speaker, while this bill is dealing specifically and entirely with the matter of the policy for dealing with the unclaimed funds, we can take liberty to also exercise scrutiny of the process leading to this situation. While supporting this bill, therefore, we want to take note and positive acknowledgement of the prevailing technological advancements, including social media, as well as other similar tools. We therefore urge government that in developing the regulations, they may consider in the administration of the process and procedure, deliberate measures must be taken, including the use of communication tools such as social media, as well as artificial intelligence, AI, to thoroughly exhaust means of identifying the legitimate owners of the funds in time leading to them being declared as unclaimed. First Deputy Speaker, given the outlined objective of the bill and with the promise of harmonization of the Financial Services Act and the Public Finance Management Act, and taking cognizance of the fact that in the end, consistency, accountability, and efficient use of the public resources will be promoted, we here as UTM support the Financial Services Amendment Bill 2026. So I admit, First Deputy Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Leader, you can guide where you want us to proceed, then they will need for a motion. If not, we can complete after the lunch break. But you can guide, because we are supposed now to take the committee, we are supposed to take the committee's report now, if you guide us to continue. The committee has submitted a report. Thank you, Leader.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I would like to indicate that since we have already started the process, let's complete it and then we'll break for lunch. And therefore, in that regard, I beg to move that that time be extended in order for the House to conclude discussing the bill that's already on the floor. I submit. Well, I beg to move, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir.
Thank you. Honour members, there's a motion for extension of time. So the bill processes should be concluded. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. I therefore recognize the chairperson for the report of the committee. Chairperson, you have the floor.
Thank you, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker. I rise to present before this August House a report by the Joint Parliamentary Committees of Legal Affairs and the Budget on Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment, a bill that seeks to strengthen the legal framework governing the administration of unclaimed funds within Malawi's financial sector. At the outset, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, allow me to commend the Ministry of Finance, together with the Reserve Bank, for bringing together before this House this very important legislative reform. And the proposed amendment demonstrates government's continued commitment to strengthen public financial management by harmonizing financial sector legislation with Public Finance Management Act of 2022. And in doing so, the bill establishes a clear, consistent, and transparent framework for the administration of unclaimed funds remaining after the compulsory winding up of prudentially regulated financial institutions. Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, allow me to highlight a few key features of this bill. The first one is the harmonization of the financial sector legislation, and the principal objective of this bill is to align the Financial Services Act with the Public Finance Management Act of 2022 in relation to the administration of unclaimed funds. And the bill proposes to repeal and replace Section 72(0) or O rather, of the Principal Act, so that monies remaining unclaimed after the completion of the compulsory winding up are administered in accordance with the PFMA. This harmonization will establish a uniform statutory framework governing the treatment of unclaimed funds across the financial sector, thereby promoting legal consistency and certainty. And the second one is strengthened transparency and accountability. Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, the committee observed that the proposed amendment enhances transparency and accountability in the management of unclaimed funds by placing the administration of such funds under an established statutory framework. The bill promotes clear procedures for their transfer, administration, and eventual payment to the rightful beneficiaries. This strengthens oversight while ensuring consistency with a broader public financial management framework. Protection of proprietary rights. Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, during its deliberations, the committee sought clarification on whether transferring the administration of unclaimed funds under the Public Finance Management Act would affect the ownership rights of individuals whose funds remain unclaimed. The committee was satisfied with assurance that the proposed amendment does not transfer ownership of funds to government, nor extinguish the rights of lawful owners. Rather, the amendment merely establishes a statutory framework for safeguarding and administering such funds until they are lawfully claimed by the rightful owners. The committee is therefore satisfied that the bill protects proprietary rights whilst strengthening accountability in the administration of unclaimed funds. And lastly, enhance the legal certainty. The committee observed that the bill removes uncertainty regarding the treatment of unclaimed funds following the completion of compulsory winding up proceedings. By prescribing a clear legal process for the transfer and administration of such funds, the amendment enhances confidence in Malawi's financial sector regulatory framework and provides certainty for regulators, financial institutions, and the public. The committee therefore makes the following recommendations. Whilst we fully support the bill, the committee also considered it necessary to make a number of recommendations, which include: 1, the Ministry of Finance, in collaboration with RBM, should undertake public awareness campaigns to educate financial institutions and members of the public on the new framework governing unclaimed funds. 2, the committee further recommends that the Reserve Bank develop clear operational guidelines to facilitate the transfer, administration, and eventual payment of unclaimed funds under the Public Finance Management Act. And 3, the committee emphasizes the need to ensure that the implementation of the amended provisions does not impede the ability of rightful owners to recover their funds, and that continuous monitoring of the new framework be undertaken to identify any operational challenges requiring administrative or legislative interventions. In conclusion, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget is satisfied that Bill number 10 of 2026, the Financial Services Amendment, is a necessary and timely legislative reform. It harmonizes the Financial Services Act with the Public Finance Management Act, establishes a clear legal framework for the administration of unclaimed funds, strengthens transparency and accountability, and preserves the rights of lawful owners. The committee is therefore of the considered view that the bill will strengthen confidence in our financial regulatory framework and improve the administration of unclaimed funds. With these remarks, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget on Bill 10 of 2026, the Financial Services Act Amendment. I beg to move.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. May I recognize a seconder, Palombe East. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, First Deputy Speaker. I rise to second the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget on Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment, ably presented by the co-chairperson. Honorable Speaker, the committee was satisfied that the bill is a necessary legislative reform that harmonizes the Financial Services Act and the Public Finance Management Act of 2022 by establishing a uniform legal framework for the administration of unclaimed funds. The bill promotes consistency, transparency, and accountability in the financial sector while removing uncertainty surrounding the treatment of such funds. First Deputy Speaker, the committee also paid particular attention to the protection of proprietary rights. To this end, members were looking for assurance that the proposed amendment would not prejudice the right of lawful owners to reclaim their funds. The committee was satisfied with the clarification that the proposed amendment merely provides a statutory framework for the administration of the unclaimed funds and does not transfer the ownership of the funds to government. With these few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I second the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget on Bill number 10 of 2026. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Seconder. Thank you, Seconder. I'll recognize a member for debate on the report. Honorable Member for Lilongwe Likuni.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Lilongwe Likuni constituency only contributes and make necessary noise, not unnecessary noise. Honorable Speaker, while we are contributing to the amendment bill, there are some other things that we need to consider. I need to appeal to the minister that only sits in the office. There are some other considerations that we need to consider after this as we comment on this. Basic rules of principles of good tax system introduced by Adam Smith in 1776. Canon of taxes. Equity. These banks, while we are amending this, they are making abnormal profits. In accounts, we say supernormal abnormal profits. Where they're making these abnormal profits, where we're amending all these things, they'll still be making an abnormal profits, and as I've said. So I need to appeal to the Honorable Minister to consider special taxes. Those people are making a lot of supernormal profits, so that when we come to Parliament next time, the Honorable Minister, the able Minister, I know, we can communicate, we speak same language. Thank you very much. I so submit.
Honorable Member Lilongwe Likuni, you came in at a right time. When we needed a contributor on Bill number 10, you've just done so. So I'd like to appreciate you. Thank you very much. Leader.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I beg to move that debate on the report be curtailed in order for the chairperson of the committee to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Leader. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is for the curtailment of debate on the report by the Joint Committee of Legal Affairs and Budget for the chair to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Chairperson.
Thank you, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, and allow me to thank Lilongwe Likuni for contributing to the report, I would say. But Right Honorable Speaker, much as the contribution was as intelligent and as relevant as it came, issues of tax policy are beyond the mandate of chair of the committee. Therefore, I would want to defer that submission. But otherwise, wanted to thank all members for really supporting the two committees on this report. I therefore beg that the report be adopted by the whole House. I beg to move.
Thank you, Chair. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor coming from the chairperson of the Joint Committee of the Legal Affairs and Budget that the report by the two committees be adopted by this Honourable House. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, and the report has been adopted. Honourable members, we now proceed with debate on the bill. Take us on the floor for debate on the bill. I see the Honourable Member for Mangochi West. Thank you so much, Honourable Member, for coming in very handy. Thank you.
Thank you, our first Deputy Speaker, for this opportunity for the people of Mangochi West to contribute to this important bill. My contribution will be very short and straightforward. The people of Mangochi West are very grateful for this important bill by understanding that such a transfer of a funds into account number one, it doesn't transfer the ownership of such funds, but to safeguard such funds so that the rightful owners can reclaim such funds at when they showed up. The plea for the people of Mangochi West is that there must be a clear and well simplified guidelines so that when such victims showed up and claim such funds, they must not be facing some restrictions and hurdles. I'm saying this just because you remember there was a certain time when a young lady could form a vigil at Capitol Hill only to reclaim the funds for his deceased parents. Mostly such funds are being for those people who doesn't have better knowledge of how such funds can be reclaimed. Therefore, there must be such guidelines so that these people must be helped and make sure that such funds are gone to the rightful owners without a problem. By that time, without the coming in of our good Minister of Gender currently to help her in a vigil, she couldn't have that money back. Therefore, a plea is good, well simplified, and well articulated guidelines must be put in place so that the rightful owners must get what belongs to them. Thank you, First Light, Deputy Speaker, sir.
Thank you very much for those comments. Leader, I see you on the floor.
Indeed, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, my standing is to move that debate on the bill be curtailed in order for the minister to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, honour members. As moved by the leader, I put a question for curtailment of debate on bill number 10, financial services amendment, so the honour minister can conclude. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honour Minister?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, thank you very much for giving the opportunity to the Honourable Minister to wind up. By way of wind up, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, let me recognize the comments that have been made. Let me recognize the comments made by the Honourable Member of Pilanjuzi for the comments made. I would want to agree with the Honourable Member that the funds, the unclaimed funds, needs to be managed prudentially in a transparent and accountable manner. I would like to agree with you that the government of Professor Peter Mutharika will ensure that public funds, particularly the funds in MG account number one, will be managed prudently and make sure that there is value for money so that the Malawians out there should be able to see how those funds are going to be managed. And I want to commit through you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, that we make sure that we are transparent as possible. We'll be reporting to this August House, either at mid-term or even at the end of the year, and so that Parliament should be able to know how their funds, Malawian funds, have been managed. And also you have mentioned about Section 65 of the Public Financial Management Act, where it says that should there be, if the bona fide owner is found after 6 months, the ST can release those funds or can transfer that funds. You are also asking that there must be proper procedures. There must be also transparency. I think we need to have proper guidelines to ensure that that process is done transparently and prudentially. I also agree with you. Similar comments were made by the honorable member or the spokesperson for UTM, who is satisfied with the amendment and supports the bill. He has also lamented his experience in the banks, being a board member of a number of financial institutions, that there were a number of claims and huge amounts of money that were involved in this. So the honorable member is happy that we have introduced this bill to address such challenges. He has also advised us to ensure that we are able to use a number of platforms, social media platforms, so that we reach out to each and every person, so that when we are declaring that it's unclaimed, it's indeed unclaimed. We should not just claim and yet we have not communicated. I also want to agree. So you emphasize the issue of consistency, transparency, and prudential use of the resources. We also had the comments from the chair, or co-chair, of Budget and Finance and the Legal Affairs Committee, who also supports the bill. I think the chair emphasized on the importance of this bill because it brings uniformity. It also enhances transparency and accountability. It strengthens oversight and it removes uncertainty. Those are the issues that the honorable chair, co-chair, has emphasized. And also he has recommended that there must be rigorous awareness campaigns. We need to develop, the Reserve Bank has to develop detailed operational guidelines on the use of the funds, and also to ensure that the regulations should not impede the access of the funds by the rightful owner. The same was seconded, or the same points were also raised by the seconder of the bill. There was also a comment coming from my dear brother from Likoni, who speaks the same language with me. We speak the same language. And I want to thank you, honorable member, for the very constructive debate that you bring in this August House. And you are not afraid to call a spade, and I would like to thank you for that, honorable member. I want to say that let's continue the engagement. My door is open. You can come for coffee, so that our engagement should continue. He's gone? As for Mangochi West, he supports the bill, and also says that there must be safeguards that should be put in place. And his plea was that there must be clear, simplified regulations or processes to ensure that the bona fide owner should be able to access the funds even after they have been deposited in MG account number 1. He has cited an example where a lady, I think, had a video at the OPC to claim funds. I want to say that the two are different. The definition of unclaimed funds are funds without the owner. So these funds were not, they don't qualify as unclaimed. I think the lady came to OPC because there was a delay in payment. I think that was the reason, not necessarily that they were unclaimed funds as defined by this regulation that we're talking about. But I agree with you that we ensure that owners of funds, be it unclaimed or claimed, there must be transparency and accountability. And we need to set up simplified procedures so that they're able to access their funds. With those remarks, Mr. Fed Deputy Speaker, I think the entire House supports this amendment, this bill. I therefore beg to move that Bill number 10 of 2026, number 10 of 2026, be read a third time, a second time.
Second time.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, honour members. We have a question on the floor. The question is that Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment, be read a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Committee stage, Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment.
Honour members, the House now will go into committee of this bill, the committee of the whole House. Can I request the honour member from Mapuyu South, who is the chairperson of Local Authorities Committee, to chair the committee stage? Honour member, you can proceed. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable members, welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment. I wish to inform you that so far, the chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments on this bill. If no one wishes to speak, I now put a question. The question is that clauses 1 to 2 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honorable members, this marks the end of the committee stage of Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment. Thank you for your active participation. Thanks very much.
Report stage, Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment.
Honourable Minister to report.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I beg to report that Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment, passed through a committee stage with no amendments. I therefore beg to move that the bill be read for a third time. I beg to move.
Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is for the bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment, be read a third time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Third reading, Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment.
Honour Minister, third reading when?
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, today and now.
I now put a question. The question is that Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment, be read a third time and passed. Those of the opinion say aye. Aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried, and the bill has been passed. Congratulations, honour members, that we have done away with those two bills, and we'll be looking forward to the implementation, the guidelines coming to the House or so for the Legal Affairs Committee to look at them. Honour members, I had an announcement. I don't know if time is still there for the chairperson of the Youth Caucus. I don't know if your meeting has already happened, but so this meeting, it's in the afternoon. So I think I'll just make the announcement before I lose it. You have a meeting at this afternoon's health break in room 251, the Youth Caucus. Please take note. And we happen not to have visitors today in the gallery. So a day without visitors at the house is actually a good day for the food at the house. Honour members, it is 1 minute after 1. 2 minutes after 1, I therefore suspend proceedings for a lunch break. The House resumes sitting at 2:30 p.m. House suspended.
Well, the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Victor Musowa MP, has now suspended the House for lunch. The House has so far considered and passed 2 bills. The first bill is Bill number 9 of 2026, the Banking Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Banking Act in order to provide more options for dealing with failing banks and enhance the legal framework for early intervention and resolution of banks. The current legal framework for early intervention and resolution of banks is inadequate and requires significant reforms to align it with best practices. The second bill is Bill number 10 of 2026, Financial Services Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Financial Services Act in order to provide for the administration of unclaimed funds remaining after the compulsory winding up of a prudentially regulated financial institution in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act of 2022. Both bills were passed following the adoption of reports by the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget, which had considered and scrutinized them. Deliberations will resume at 2:30 this afternoon. Mmene munthu momwe zayendera zokambirana za aphungu lero ku chigawo cha kummawa. Pakadali pano aphungu akambirana ndi kuvomereza mabilu awiri, ndipo bilu yoyamba ndi bill number 9 ya 2026 Banking Amendment. Bilu iyi ikufuna kukonza lamulo la mabanki kuti pakhale njira zambiri zothandizira mabanki omwe asakuchita bwino pa ntchito. Cholinga chinanso ndi kulimbikitsa malamulo okhudza kuzindikira msanga mavuto omwe mabanki amakumana nawo. Ndipo bilu ina ndi bill number 10 ya 2026 Financial Services Amendment. Bilu iyi ikufuna kukonza lamulo la ntchito za ndalama kuti pakhale njira yabwino kuti ngati kampani yomwe ikusunga ndalama zomwe eni yake sanazitenge ndipo yatsekedwa padzipezekabe njira yoti eni yake adzitha kutenga ndalama zawo. Nyumba yavomereza mabilu akutsatira malipoti a komiti yoona za malamulo pamodzi ndi komiti ya nyumbayi yoona za budget atatha kuwaunika. Pakadali pano achiwiri oyamba kwa aspika olemekezeka a Victor Musowa MP ayimitsa zokambirana kuti aphungu apite ku nkhomaliro. Zokambirana zipitirira nthawi ya 2:30 masana ano. Dzina langa ndi Rachel Gonani.